Welcome back to Backing Biz. My name's Claudia Neal-Shaw. I'm a small business consultant and a wedding celebrant, and I am joined by Tim Shaw, Canberra journalist, bestseller, my dad. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Claudia.
Thank you for joining us from very, very sunny Canberra. It looks absolutely beautiful out there.
It is a beautiful day and a great day to talk about, I guess, building our businesses and backing business, what this is all about. You wrote a really good piece for LinkedIn. Why don't we go through some of the topics that you raised?
I think what we were trying to focus on this week is what actions can business owners take every day in order to continue to grow their business. We can often enter that paralysis mode when we are facing something like a global health pandemic, but how can we continue to invest effort in our business? And there were three key things that I really focused on. And the first one was capitalizing on our local networking groups. I'm part of a number of groups in my local area that I meet with every week. It keeps me accountable. It allows me to learn about what other people are doing in their businesses. I can take inspiration from that. And it also allows you to get referrals from each other. How can I help you? And in turn, how can you help me? So that's definitely been a crucial part of how I've continued to grow my business and also advise my clients on how they can continue to grow theirs. The second part was really leveraging your social media and sharing your personal story. Many of us, we might have 1,000 friends on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media you use, and how often do you actually touch base with these people? They've probably, maybe you went to school with them, they're long lost family members, but more often than not, they don't actually have an idea of what you're doing with your life, what career changes you've had. So being able to share your story and say, hey, this is what I'm doing now, this is why I'm passionate about it, and this is who I'm helping. I found that particularly during this time, people want to know what you're doing, and even just as a comment or a positive affirmation to say, hey, we see you and we love what we're doing and we want to support you. So that was the second one. And then finally, the third one, and I know that you and I definitely do this every week, Tim, is a meeting with the boss. And the boss is us. When you're a business owner, you are the boss of yourself. And it's really about sitting down and checking in with yourself every week and saying, where is the cash flow coming from? What are my short-term wins that I can nail today? And what are the long-term wins that I need to start to plan for in order to eventually meet that goal?
I think those areas that you talked about in that story are really critical. And you know what is great about that B&I networking and Let's Connect Women, those amazing women in Australia that are really building and backing their businesses, is bringing up a couple of little case studies that you can weave into that conversation, because invariably one of that network are going to go, hey, Claudia, yeah, I had a client like that as well, but in different elements of industry. And suddenly you're bringing together those ideas. So I think that was really valuable. Sharing too on social media, because whether you went to school, played in a netball team, there was an element of trust there, even in those early days. And suddenly you're reconnecting with someone that had exposure to you, therefore started trusting you. And it's a great way, not just to say, hey, I'm on social media, but hey, this is what I'm doing with my life. Self-checking is a really important thing too, and particularly on a Monday morning going, where's the cash flow coming from? And charting some of those hours of the day where you know that you're your most productive, but then also saying, well, if I'm not doing my most productive, which leads to cash flow, what other things can I do to add to one of my colleagues' businesses? Your hourly rate may be lower, but your productivity's increased. And when you average that out over the week, that cash flow hourly rate's not going to be too bad. I think there's three really key elements of what you're bringing to the conversation for backing biz. And whether you're a marriage celebrant like you, a marketing consultant, or doing more deeper and strategic business direction and consulting like I do, it really gives us all an opportunity to have that conversation and join the conversation. And those meetings might go for 2 or 2.5 hours, but you're getting such a diverse experience from everyone. I applaud you. I think that's a great move.
I think for everyone right now, it's really about opening up the conversation and the dialogue. It's the backing biz real talk. This is what's happening in real time, in reality, in my business. Today, I don't feel great about my business, but this was the person that I reached out to say, hey, I'm really struggling here. Can you help me? More often than not, or what I'm finding definitely in conversations I'm having with family, friends, and clients, how can we all help each other? And there are different ways that we can do transactions these days. It's not always going to be financial. There can be, contra options for people. One person is seeking a service that someone provides, and that person in turn would like to use that person's service. There are all these things, going back to basics and really asking ourselves, how can we get a little bit creative here? So, every week we definitely want to be casting a light on businesses that are doing fantastic things. So I think next week we'll absolutely do a focus and prepare a list even and say, these are some businesses who are doing some really amazing things.
Absolutely true. And we've already heard the federal government's going to be releasing, for example, elements of elective surgery. Now, it means that some of those professional networks are getting back to what they do well. There's thousands and thousands of elective surgery operations standing by ready to happen. But all of them are individuals and they have needs, whether it's to get up to date with their accounting, contact their accountant, whether it be to get some more shopping delivered. I mean, there are so many opportunities as we see some of these restrictions released and made easier. It's going to mean that there's even more opportunity. You don't need a pandemic to communicate with people. And I think post-pandemic, we're going to see a lot more professional networks like you're members of being able to expand and add real value. Really productive, Claudia, and it's great to be helping you and Australia backing biz. And of course, #BackingBiz. We'd like to hear from our viewers and maybe comment on some of the challenges they've got. Maybe we can do that next week.
Thanks, Tim. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks, Claudia. Have a great day.